Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Aloha L'Rambam L'Yuna. Amokim Miyun in the Rambam. We're learning Hilchis Nedarim. We'll start with Peidik Hey Halacha Yud Gimel. The Rambam says, Ha'oimer Peidish Ha'elu Korban Olai. If someone says that these fruit should be a korban, oy korban hein lipi, oy korban hein alpi, and he's talking about this specific orange. He's not speaking about oranges. So then the Rambam paskins, Hareza oser bichilufeyen or bigiduleyen. You're oser if you take this orange and change it for other money, you sell it, you can't have enough in that dime. Or bigiduleyen, if you plant this orange and oranges grow, you cannot have anoah. Vein tzorich leimar b'mashkin hayitzimehen. It mamish becomes a hefta shalisir. So if you squeeze orange juice, it's like a squeezing, you make chazer juice. It's oser mamish. Okay. Then the Rambam continues in Haloche Tezayim. We're talking a different case. He didn't answer this orange on himself. He answered this orange on his friend. The Rambam holds many times in Hilchos Nedarim that not only have you koyach to answer yourself on an orange, the orange on yourself, better said, but you also have koyach to answer your fruit on your friend. Bein b'neder, bein b'shvua. Over here, hadei giduleyen, v'chilufeyen, of the Rambam, Suffolk. It's a doubt how strong you could make osir this orange on your friend. So giduleyen, v'chilufeyen is a Suffolk. Fichok zok the Rambam. V'baltza Suffolk. Chavere osir b'gidulei peidis elu b'chilufeyen. He could not enjoy these fruit that grow from the seeds of the orange or money that's accomplished through selling the orange. V'im ovar v'nehene, if he goes and has a noah from giduleyen or chilufeyen, zog the Rambam nehene. What's a pshat nehene? That you can't give malchus because it's a sofik. If it's a sofik, you can't give malchus. The mocker of this Rambam is a Gemara in the Nedarim Daf Mem Zayin. Over there, Rami Bar Choma asks a question. Can you aser your paydays on your friend? What's chilufeyen and giduleyen? Do you say that you could? Or do you say that you can't aser it because eino domeisa al chavere dover shein shalei? Sorry, dover shalei bol eilom. The chilufeyen and giduleyen didn't come to the world. So over there, it's a bayid al-ifshita. The Gemara goes back and forth and tries to bring many rayas from different mishnas of Orla and different mishnas of Kainomos. And the Gemara says you cannot bring a raya and answer because could be lechatchila you shouldn't do it, but if you did it, you did it. So it's a bayid al-ifshita. The Gemara over there says in Nedarim. The Ran in Nedarim says that since it's a bayid al-ifshita and it's a isha d'rabbanan, This Chiluf Meisa der Rabbanan, Memele sagt der Ran am Paskin L'Kula, and it's Beseder. And the Ran in the Nedarim brings this Rambam, Halacha Tezayin. And the Ran says that the Rambam paskins that you go L'Chumra. Okay. So we have to understand the Kesef Mishnah says, why didn't the Rambam paskin l'kula like the Ran? Nira shetaime mishum svirele. The kshemer peiris elo elai osor chilufei midiraisa. If you say peiris elo osor elai, like we learned in Halacha Yud Gimel, in the osor midiraisa, the mail is up there. Kesef Mishnah. So the same thing, you have a koimer peiris elo, das asweike deiraisa l'chumra. So the Kesef Mishnah learns that the machlekes of the Rambam and the Ran, if you paskin l'chumra l'kula, is what's the mokir oiseh. The Rambam learns that it's an issa de'eraisa, memela sveike de'eraisa l'chumra. The Ran learns sveike de'eraisa l'kula. Darf man verstehen das? If the Shvor of the Kesef Mishnah that ha'oiser peireiser al chaveri das asofik in the eraisa, how also do these peiris come on chaveri? And by the way, the Shulchan Aruch paskins in Reish Tes Zayin Siv Beis, he paskins like the Rambam. That's fake the eraisa l'chumra. We find in the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, in Siman Tov Mem Gimel, the Alter Rebbe speaks about chometz la'achar shei shois, which is Issa Deiraisa. Says the Alter Rebbe in Siman Tov Mem Gimel Siftes, that if you sold it, ein isurei teufis is domov v'chilupov she'asurim b'nokamei. You could have enough in the money. Why? Because Avei the Zores Teifes Domeho Shteit HaPosek Vayisochenum Komeyu. On Chazal Darshenen, anything that you create through it is Chenum Komeyu. But other Isurim, Orlo, Kilei HaKerem, Basar B'Cholo, Chometz B'Pesach, Muter B'Ano, Chilup. Says the Alter Rebbe weiter, we call them in Atera. This that you have Hanoah from Chilupe and Gidulim, I guess the same thing, is Mideiraisa, Avo Midivri Seifrim. The Rabbana say you can't have Hanoah. Because you mistake, V'Yisr is Suri Hanoah. Zog the Rambam. 1 second, let me stop the phone. So the Rambam, the Yeshchil Kinalze. In the middle of Sif Yud Beis, some people argue, and they say that even with the Rabbanon you can have Anor. V'yesh lismech al divreyem b'mokim hefset merubeh. You could rely on this shit that you can have Anor. Who's the market of the shita that you have chalipin and anoah? So the Alter Rebbe writes that it's a Rambam in Hilchis Macholes Asuris Peirik Ches Halochet Zay. The Chasastir in Rambam. We're learning that the Rambam says that it's a Iboye de Leifshita, it's a Sveike de Reise, and you go L'chumre. That's how the Kesef Mishnah learns. And the Rambam, and the Alter Rebbe brings the Rambam of Peirik Ches from Hilchas Macholes Asures as saying you could have Anoah, because it's the Rabbanon. We find this question in the Kuntres Achren of the Alter Rebbe. And the Alter Rebbe says, in Hago on the Kuntres Achren, V'tzorich iyun fragt the Alter Rebbe. The Harambam himself paskins that the Shaila in Nedarim, he paskins l'chumre. And it says in Yeredeya. And you look at the Gemara in Nedarim, you can't say there's a chilik in Isurim because he compares all Isurim. You can't answer the stira that Nedarim has a special own gather. It's kinomes, it's like a korban, it's a kedusha. Zog the Alter Rebbe, me kenaz in the Shledden in the Rambam in the Kesef Mishnah. Because in the Gemara is mashma that all the Yisurim are shovim, or else the Gemara wouldn't bring a raya for Nedarim from Allah. Ayin shom the pasuk we mastisim mocher v'kiddush. Memela learn that Alter Rebbe. You have to learn that Alter Rebbe learns it's an Issa D'Rabbanan. Nevertheless, the Rambam paskins l'chumre. Zog the Alter Rebbe v'tzorich iyun. How are you going to answer the stir of the Rambam? You actually look in the Tzemach Tzedek in Piskei Dinim on this Kuntres Achren. Tzemach Tzedek says that he understands why the Alter Rebbe paskins like the Rambam in Hilchos Macholes Asuris. Even though here is mashma that it's a sveike de reise, because there's a ribuy kashis on the Rambam and Hilchos Macholes Asuris, and the Lechem Mishnah remains by a tzorech iyun and the Rambam. Memele it's mistaber why his grandfather the Alter Rebbe paskin like the Rambam and Macholes Asuris. So here is a mokim iyun to understand in the Rambam. What would be the difference? Also, you see clearly from the Alter Rebbe that you can't learn the difference from the Nedarim and Macholes Asuris if the Isser Anoah from the Chalipin is der Eisa der Rabbanan. You can't be mechalik that way. Davon verstehen. But we see how the Alter Rebbe learns that Mikenish Lenin as his Deiraisa. The Alter Rebbe learns that the Yisurim are Shovim. And it's Issa the Rabbanon. So why does the Rambam go L'chumre by Nedarim? So we have here the Stil in Rambam. We have here the Tzemach Tzedek. And the Alter Rebbe. So verstehen Pshat in Rambam. And you see how the Alter Rebbe learns the Gemara and the Nedarim. The Gemara and the Nedarim yichiach that it's not a din miyuchad in the Nedarim. You can't answer the stira that way. So that's one mokim iyun in the Rambam. The Rambam continues, the Ravid continues asking a question to the Rambam. Number one, if you look in the Gemara in Nedarim, the Gemara is mashma. Then Rabbi Bar Choma asks a question about chilufim: are they osir like gidulim or not? That means it's a dover aposher that gidulim are osir. How does that Rambam bunch together gidulim and chilufim? So the Lechem Mishnah wants to answer that there's two dargis in gidulim. There's dover shezari kolo and dover she'ein zari kolo. We learned this in Halacha Tezvov. That it's dover she'ein zari kolo, that when you throw in the onion, it still remains whole. It becomes osur l'olam voed. So they want to learn pshat in the Rambam that the Gedulin is talking about dover she'ein zari kolo. That's a dover aposhut. That since the onion still remains whole in the ground, so the continuation, the new growth, is just a continuation. That's osur l'kula alma. The Shailim Gedulin is bedover she'ein zari kolo. But it's Lechem Mishnah says that it's a tzarech hiyun because the Loshna Rambam is Gidulei, and he should have been Mefarish. Then the Rambam, and then the Ravid asks another question. We learn by Orla, if you put something in the ground, you say Zev Zegedem Muter. So why shouldn't you say here Zev Zegedem should be Muter? So why should Giduleihen be Osir? It's brought down in the Dvar Malchus. It brings from the Teres Chesed. The Rambam and Ravid are arguing, why do you say Zev Zegedem Muter is Muter? The Rambam learns because Zev Zegedem is a din of bittul. Since it's a din of bittul, the Rambam writes in Halacha Tezvov, that's why Nedarim is dover sheyesh li matirin. Since it's a dover sheyesh li matirin, it's never bought. But the Ravid learns that the tam haheter is not because of bittul. It's a tam acher. He learns that it's not coming from the dover also. Mikenes nicht aseren. That's why the Ravid asks why we don't say it by Nedarim. Al Koporim dafen verstehen what's the Kudus HaMachlekes, a little more than Kudus HaMachlekes. Also, another Mokimiyun is what is the difference from Halacha Tezvov? Why by Halacha Tezvov there's a difference from Giduleihen, if it's Dover Shezari Kolo, Dover She'ein Zari Kolo. And why in Halacha Yud Gimel he doesn't make a difference of Dover Shezari Kolo, but Chilufeim Giduleihen in any case is Osir. But it's wonderful that we have a Pirush with the Alter Rebbe on the Rambam. There's a lot to go deeper and deeper, and we just scratched the surface a little bit. And you see the Emek of the Alter Rebbe, the Tzemach Tzedek, and the Rambam, and Ashreinom and Zechig went to be connected to the wonderful Takon of the Rebbe, especially Aloha Leyuna Day. God bless you all.